Hello, Mr. Molina. I'm María José Contreras, and today with my classmates Juan Pablo Peña and Sofía Riquelme, we are going to talk about the multifaceted nature of bilingualism by Shun-Fa Jin.
Well, the debate whether bilingualism has a positive or negative effect on executive attention is an ongoing one. Several studies have been done to answer where the source of bilingual advantage is, such as what Bialstock said in 2015. And in this article by Chung-Fa Jim and companions in the same year, 2015, compiles both the definitions and the types of attention and how they may or may not be enhanced by bilingualism. Well, first of all, it is important to know that as the main article is a compilation of other articles, secondary sources will be marked at the bottom of the page, such as the example here, for the sake of fluency during oral presentation. And as the themes studied are several, each of us will address frameworks and methodologies. The studies shown address distinct types of attention: sustained, selective, alternative, and divided. There are points for and against the idea of bilingualism as an enhancing tool for attention. It also addresses the concept of disengagement of attention, task performance, and other crucial academical concepts. Well, first of all, we can talk about sustained attention, which is the ability to focus on an activity continuously. It requires fixed time to perform an activity, as it can be interrupted by internal or external stimuli, ending in a delay or failure to complete the task. This is what we call a lapse. Next one, please. In the case of bilinguals, sustained attention is required to focus on the target language for a fixed period while suppressing interference from another language. It is tempting to assume that bilingualism has an impact in sustained attention performance when compared to monolingual users, as its constant use should reinforce its effectiveness. The authors of the article, however, are emphatic in stating that all evidence to support this statement is affected by methodological biases and limited tasks. We can see this in the next slide. In an overview analysis, they analyzed studies from Bialystok 2009, Kusai and Companions 2014, Bach and Companions 2014, and Vega Mendoza and Companions of 2015, using methods such as the one we are seeing here: SART, Stroop task, Simon task, Wisconsin card sorting, and Wesley Double Science scale, and test of everyday attention, which is a single image. Next one, please. With the previous issues in consideration, the main authors conclude that studies were not able to show that bilingualism enhanced performance on sustained attention tasks, and that further research is warranted.
I'm María José Contreras, and now I'm going to talk about the second type of attention, which is selective attention. And we can explain selective attention with the classic example of the cocktail party effect, in which individuals have the ability to focus only on one single conversation while multiple conversations are happening in the same surrounding environment. Also, it works as a spotlight in a theater production. This occurs because there is a filter in our brain informing which information requires attention and which one does not. Therefore, the stage-like filter theory by Broadbent explains that incoming sensory information from the environment, which is the input, is processed in the brain. And so the relation between selective attention and bilingualism is that, for example, according to Commission, who used the visual expectation cueing paradigm, which is very similar to the video that is playing now, it's an eye tracking study and to compare selective attention and processes between 6-month-old infants raised in monolingual and bilingual households. The results showed that children raised in bilingual environments distribute their selective attention more efficiently than monolingual children. Besides, they are able to create new associations. Another study using the visual search paradigm, monolingual and bilingual young adults were compared on feature and conjunction searches. The task involves searching for an object, which is the target, among multiple objects, the distractors. After these visual tasks, researchers concluded that monolinguals and bilinguals employ different search strategies, and nevertheless, bilinguals were more efficient at locating the target than monolinguals. Finally, these experiments suggested that bilingualism enhanced attention, especially on demanding tasks like the conjunctional searches. Hence, thanks to selective attention and its relation with bilingualism, we can conclude that knowing more than one language can expand the mind to perceive and interpret problems, objects, and concepts in more ways than one.
Hello, I'm Sofía, and I'm going to talk about divided attention. This is the ability to process, next, please. This is the ability to process two or more pieces of information simultaneously. It is cognitively demanding, according to Chu Fat Yin and companions. Watching a video while eating can be a great example of it. Next. Divided attention may be difficult because of a bottleneck effect in our brains. Thereby, people need to choose a response for the first task before responding to the second one at the same time. Next, please. Water and Logan's research from 2006 suggests that brain preparation for task 2 during task 1 response selection stage may lead to a faster response in task 2, supporting the idea of multitasking. Next. However, bilingualism have effects on divided attention, prompting bilinguals to mix words from their first language while focused on the second one. Next. Bialystok did an experiment with monolinguals and bilinguals performing multitasking. They had to decide whether the sound or visual stimulus was a series of digitals, animal sounds, or musical instruments. Young and old bilingual people exhibited superior performance in categorizing visual stimuli. They also made fewer mistakes on switch trials compared to monolinguals. Next, please. And finally, however, Fernandez conducted another study, which revealed that bilingual individuals recalled fewer words when fully focused while multitasking compared to monolinguals, going against the author's hypothesis.
Well, now we can see what is alternative attention, which is the sudden shift in attentional focus caused by the inability to assimilate all available information at once. It's more into the long term rather than rapidly. Reading a book and then halting to take a phone call is one example. Bilingualism requires shifting focus between known languages. Next, please. It is viewed as advantageous to attention in experiments done by Boston and Riles in 1994, Trick and Enns 1998, and Bialystok in 2010. John Fatimerol said that task switching is relevant to bilingualism because the processes recruited by these tasks are similar to the processes bilinguals engage in language switching. Next one, please. Nonetheless, Sorge, Toplak, and even Bialystok itself have opposed to these concepts. They criticize the good or bad view or attentional performance, as well as the idea that bilingualism benefits working memory. Quote, there is an overlap in attention processes used to control attention to languages and those who used to control the nonverbal stimuli. Next, please. Though opinions differ, the overall experience emphasizes the importance of bilingualism in switching attention. Common grounds may also be discovered in how children and young people are more influenced than adults.
Finally, disengagement of attention. Next, please. This is the ability to engage, disengage, and then re-engage attention is a crucial ability in all attention types mentioned before. In order to shift one's focus, we must disengage from the current location to a new one and fixate on that location. The next one, please. According to Mishra and Grandi and company, this might be a process improved by bilingualism, as bilinguals are constantly focusing their attention on different linguistic information during their life. They may have acquired extra practice, become faster in attention, shifting when the information is no longer relevant. Next, please. This leads to efficient current task performance. This evidence is supported in studies such as Grandi and company by using a flanker task, demonstrated that bilinguals have better sequential congruency effects than monolinguals. Next, please. And finally, a study from Mishra and company discovered that highly proficient bilinguals show a stronger inhibition of return, IOR, which means faster attention disengagement. However, St. Aubin and company failed to replicate these results, emphasizing bilingualism as a spectrum rather than a binary system.
To conclude, this presentation was a review of literature based on different findings and investigations done by some authors regarding attention and its implication with bilingualism, or how certain bilingual experiences contribute to different attentional mechanisms. Furthermore, one of the main conclusions made by Farfán is that a person's ability to perceive and interpret situations, objects, and ideas can be expanded by learning multiple languages. And moreover, another author, Białystok, also agreed with this idea by saying that bilinguals have a better capability of switching attention from one focus point to another, and at managing conflicting information. Also, bilinguals have very visual perspectives and they are more efficient at solving ambiguous figures. Finally, we can say that there is a natural relationship between being bilingual and how our attentional system works. And in the majority of cases, it helps to improve our performance as students and in everyday tasks. We hope you have enjoyed our presentation and thanks for your attention. And these are the references. Thank you.